I'm Harley McLean with Trainli Tech TV, and today we are out at the Alpine and Western Pacific Railroad on the Tahoe Junction Division. What we're going to be doing is installing a custom-made double crossover switch. These are custom made in Germany, and we just got it here. We'll be installing on this little straightaway. So I'll walk you through how to install these. They also make a single crossover switch as well. These are actually beautiful pieces of track. As a matter of fact, I thought about, geez, this is such a nice looking piece of track and so interesting to look at. I should just go ahead and frame it and put it above our fireplace in the living room. But that didn't go over well with the rest of the home decor decorating committee. As a matter of fact, it was instantly vetoed. So we'll put it out here on the track where it's supposed to go. Now take a look at these two sets of switches. The bigger one, of course, is our double crossover, and then we have a smaller version of a single crossover. And that smaller version, we're probably going to see if that will fit inside the Harris Junction tunnel. And this double crossover, we're going to place right on the straightaway here. So we're going to place it right on this straightaway, and I've assembled all the tools and equipment that we'll need. I got a bucket with a sponge and some water for the concrete patch. We have a little battery operated vacuum so I can vacuum up the ballast in between the two road beds, some concrete patch, screwdriver and spatula, and our dual rail bender, a little Dremel to cut the track, and a square and a pen to mark where we want to cut the track. So the first thing we're going to do is just vacuum out the ballast in between the two tracks and use this little portable vacuum. And I found that's actually the quickest, easiest way to pick up the ballast, do some work, and then put it back. It's really quite handy and works great. So that'll be our first step. Then we'll come back and put the concrete patch in between these two rails so that there's a nice flat section that the crossover switch can rest on. Well, we got all the ballast vacuumed up out of here, and next I'm going to just get a little bit of a damp sponge and just kind of wet this a little bit as we move along through here. That probably won't stay wet very long since it's so hot. And we'll use this concrete patch, hopefully. Not sure if I'm going to have enough. I may or may not have enough. I don't think I'm going to have enough of this, so I'll have to mix up some. Okay, I've mixed up some more concrete, and I added about a third of the ballast that was in between the tracks, just kind of as a filler. And now I'll come back in and we will fill up as much as we can. tangles everywhere. Okay. Wheels, no cigar. Maybe a sponge. Okay, so we have the concrete cement in here. Got to go make a trip back to the store to get a little bit more to finish that off. But before I do that, I've already marked where I need to cut this track so that the new switch will go in. So just got my Dremel, the cutoff blade, and we're just going to trim this quickly. Just a tad. All right, that one's cut, and I marked this other one as well, so we'll cut this one. All right, now set those aside. I'll reattach this one right here, and then we'll go get some more concrete, finish that off, let that set up for the night, and then tomorrow we'll put in the double crossover. All right, well, it's nice and toasty out here. This quick set concrete set up nicely between the two road beds, so I kind of have a nice one solid platform for the double crossover switch to rest on. And I went ahead and attached the two tracks to the downhill side of our double main line here. And before I brought it out, I'd already attached the power leads. And that's what's really nice about these DCC switch motors, is that all you need is a little jumper to grab the power from the rails, and that gets all the communication and everything, so you don't have to have another box somewhere else or wires running back to a switch panel or anything like that. They're basically totally self-contained. They're made to be outside all year round. Like I said, I've had these out for quite a few years now on my railroad. I take them in the wintertime when I know that I'm not going to be using them for a few months, but I have left them out throughout the winter just to test them through the rain and snow and ice, and they've held up quite well. So that's what's really nice about this. And I have them set up so that when you flip the one switch, the corresponding diagonal switch on the other side automatically flips. So you only have to do flip it each switch once for that double crossover to work out nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and trim the other end of the track and hook those up. And then tomorrow, after I get back from work, I will finish programming the little switch motors that is really pretty quick, and we'll attach them to the tracks, and hopefully everything will work great. All right, let's get the other tracks mounted up before I melt. Getting there. We have our suitability officer here making sure everything's being done in an environmentally friendly way on the railroad here. All right, we got that joint hooked up, and now, oh my goodness, look at that. We can actually use this joint right here. Isn't that lucky? There we go. Okay. Still need to use those sensor wires up in a minute. But make sure that I get this all hooked up first. All right, looks like we're gonna have to trim this one just a speck. Almost close enough. There we go. Okay, slide these in, nice. Nice, those go together nicely. All right, tighten these down. All right. So I have right here is my digital DCC voltmeter, so it gives me an idea of what the voltage is approximately on the track, on the rails. And because this is a different division, this is the Tahoe Junction division. We call this section the hill. And so I need to take these little wires, feeds off this track here, and put them on the new, or back on this one. Oh, that one broke. You're going to have to do something about that. Well, we're back out here at the railroad, and we have installed our double crossover. Put in a little concrete between the two row beds to make that kind of just one large level or smooth roadbed area for the double crossover. And like I said, we are using our DCC controlled switch motors, and these are quite nice, is that they get their power and their control from the track right at the switch. So I have 4 DCC switch motors, and I have them, 2 of them programmed together so that all I have to do is just tap one of the icons, and both switches will move, actuate, so that we can run the switch, whatever train or locomotive we want, onto the other track, or vice versa, or flip them back the other way to where that they just continue to run parallel straight to one another. And boy, this thing really works nice. And let's see, we'll go ahead and we'll fire up our rotary snow plow here. Start that up, and we'll back it up. And we get that. And it's also kind of cool, we have, you can see the, we'll get a close-up of that. You can see the gears driving the rotary plow up front. So we'll back her up a little bit. Okay, we'll stop, and I'll switch over, and I'll flip the switch so that they will so cross over onto the other track. We'll run that forward. And we'll stop it, and we'll put the switches back to where they're parallel again with each other, and we can back this rotary plow back down the other track. So here it comes. So that's our custom built double crossover, and it works really well. And we also have it as a single crossover, and works really quite nice. And especially with the DCC switch motors, we can go ahead and obviously put that anywhere on the track where we need that double crossover, and don't have to worry about additional wiring to that, because we're using, of course, the DCC through the track. So I hope you liked this segment of Trainli TV, and as always, please follow us and like us. And if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to reach out to me at Hawley, Hawley, @trainli.com. Once again, thank you so much for watching.